There we go.
I am the storm that is approaching. It's the young cancer.
That's right. We're back. How you doing, Ninja? So we left off, we had killed the first of the Lords of Shadow, Cornell, the Lycanthrope Lord. And now we're going to head towards the Vampire Land.
The deed is done. Cornell is no more. Such a pity that the Brotherhood of Light, the order to which we both belong, should also be the reason why the world is in such chaos. Gabriel, you have proven your worth, my friend. You have a piece of the God Mask. It is said this relic can bring back the dead. It is said this relic can bestow power beyond any man's reckoning. Now, with the help of the old god, he heads toward the land of the vampires and further into the heart of darkness.
Oh, nice. I haven't played Separate Ways in RE4 Make at all. That's one of the DLCs that we're supposed to do at some point this year.
What is this place?
The Crow's Pass. The land of the vampires lies beyond those hills. A powerful witch protects this domain.
Not any of significance as far as I'm aware.
And why do you help me?
You may think I am helping you, but you would be wrong. I serve no one. You would do well to remember that.
Cool, but you flew me here, which helped me. So, like, why did you do that? This thing's a nice face. Honestly, I think it's worth going through Revelations as it is. Really just to admire how impressive a lot of the texture quality is, given that it was originally a 3DS game. They should have done more than just pull it. Yeah, I can feel that. I don't feel like there's much more they could have done, though. I feel, the big show of it originally being a handheld game is its architecture, rather than anything like texture resolution or anything like that. You can really tell by, like, the size of areas, I think. Evil exists here, insidious evil that consumes men's bravery. It seems lurking in the castle is an ogre. I find it incredible that our childhood stories turn out to be true. I remember my father reading me tales of these creatures when I was a boy, and if memory serves, they are slow and ponderous when attacking. What I need is something that will allow me to run fast and move quickly if I'm to stand a chance against this giant beast. I disagree. I do really like that it's available on other systems. There's too many games that are exclusive to systems like the 3DS as it is. And being able to play it on other systems without emulation is really, really good. But there were quite a few games that had that. The follow-up to this, Lord of Shadow Mirror of Fate, was a 3DS game that got ported to PS3, Xbox 360, and PC. It happened with a surprising number of games around that time that came out on 3DS. Gotcha. Alright, I understand, Ninja. Thank you for the warning. I'd like to get to the end of the vampire stuff today, but that's a significant amount of the game. Like, it's not even a third of the game, it's probably like half of the game. Or half the game as it originally was. So like, we'll see how far we go. One of these is progress. I'm going to assume this direction is progress, so let's go on. I do remember this part, but part of that might be that the crow witch that guards this land is called Malthus. Oh, there we go. Yeah, the crow witch that guards these lands is called Malthus, and that's another Castlevania name. I wonder if I could use that. No, not yet, I guess. Yeah, I think generally though, the part of the game really worth remembering is the vampire stuff. And we're coming to it. Like, we're past the slow opening and into like the actually good part of the game. That said, once we kill the Vampire Lord, I feel like the game really just needs to end. And it goes on for, I think, like 3 more chapters to deal with the final Lord. As we feared, the fortress has been overrun by evil forces. A terrible bird-like creature has made the tower a personal nest, and a huge monster roams around the old castle walls protecting it. I've heard nothing from the other nights, so I must assume the worst and try to return to their brotherhood and to inform them that this pass is held against us. These accents are going to keep getting worse. controller disconnected momentarily, so that's getting plugged in. Dealing with that today, in the middle of a fight. Brum brum, brum brum. Yeah, it's keyboard and mouse. I just use a good old-fashioned Xbox Series controller, which the majority of games will just register as Xbox 360. And welcome in, Clem. I did get a haircut, it's true. Yeah, the majority of games will just register it as a 360. It's good. I feel like the Xbox One controller is good. Like, it's really solid. I feel like the Xbox Series controller is the best traditional controller. Like, there's no bullshit in it, there's no gimmicks. There's no light on it, there's no speaker, it doesn't have motion controls, it's just a good, solid controller. And I feel like, it's the best controller. The grip's being textured now is a nice improvement over the Xbox One controller. The triggers are textured. The D-pad is like a shield-style D-pad, which I didn't know I wanted until I used it. There's like... Some people have a test for a good D-pad, and they'll do like fighting games, like say doing Street Fighter. See how easy it is to do a Hadouken or a Shoryuken. Some people do what's called the Contra test. Test how easy it is to wiggle the D-pad back and forth. My test for a good D-pad is Resident Evil. How easily am I able to move around in Resident Evil? And on the Xbox Series pad, really easily and really comfortably. Ogre. The Anubian giants are an ancient species as old as the Earth itself. This particular ogre is one of the last of his race left in the world. He lives amongst the walls of this deserted mountain fortress, waiting for misguided travelers to stumble in so he can grind their bones to make his bread. However, this particular ogre hasn't had much man flesh for quite some time, having to sell for the odd cave shop. Ogres have an extremely keen sense of smell and can sniff a man from half mile away, making them very successful trackers. Fortunately, their size and clumsy nature means their prey can often can sniff a man from half a mile away. Not sniff a man out, can sniff a man. Yeah, you know, thinking about it, and like the PS5 controller, I don't think I'd want to play classic Resident Evil with that D-pad. I don't like the D-pad. I don't think DualSense is a particularly good controller, in all honesty. I feel like the buttons have too shallow a travel. That was the wrong button. Like the face buttons and the D-pad, the travel on them is too shallow. I don't like it. It's time for Mecha to be good at games today. It's a lot of adaptive nonsense. Like it's got motion sensors inside it. It's got a light. It's got a speaker. It's got a microphone. It's got the adaptive triggers, and it's like, what's the need for any of this? None of it adds to the game. See, I still prefer the feel of like the Xbox Series controller. And it's not like I can't use a PS5 controller. I beat Rebirth. I beat Jedi Survivor. Like, you guys have seen me play games with the PS5 controller. It's got your current location stored in it. It's got your social security number. It's got your mother's maiden name. Yeah, that's absolutely true. And like, it is essentially the same with the Switch controller. There's too much in it that isn't just the controller. And people give Microsoft shit for not having rechargeable batteries in their controllers, and I get that. I absolutely gave them shit for that myself. But the value of the way Microsoft does it is that if the batteries go bad, you can just replace them. I need to do better. That's bullshit. Yeah, they make a good controller, yeah. What's the controller for? Playing video games. I play a lot of video games with it. It's funny as well, because like, I thought the DualShock 4 was a really good controller. Like, its gimmicky nonsense notwithstanding. God damn it. The gimmicks of the DualShock 4 notwithstanding, I thought it was a genuinely comfortable controller. Of course, it turns out that if you want to use the DualShock 4 on anything other than a PS4, the input latency is really bad. It's like, I've got the PS TV, and you can use a DualShock 4 or a DualShock 3 with it. And I wanted to use a DualShock 4 because they're more comfortable. But the DualShock 4 has like really noticeable input latency. And I think it's probably the worst I've ever seen on a first-party controller. Your other eye, bitch. Okay, so he's got a keen sense of smell, so if I fart on one side of the arena and move to the other, will I be okay? Guess where you're going? On the spike. On the spike. Yeah. I killed an endangered species. Just as is the white man's right.
You are worthy.
Damn right. I really need to do Soul Reaver before the year's out. I bought the remaster for a reason. So why did I buy the remaster if I'm not playing it? You motherfucker. You motherfuckers. Yeah, there's too much in my idea box. I can't close the idea box anymore. It's like I didn't say it because I was like, I said that I was going to do an Xbox game after after Doom. That was it. So I didn't say it because I was like, oh yeah, I'm going to do an Xbox game. But I downloaded Metal Wolf Chaos XD and was like, you know, I should do this. And now there's a fair possibility that that's going to be what I do after Indiana Jones. That's a game I've been wanting to play for years. And like, I wanted to play that game back before it was even released in English. And then they actually, when they did the remaster and released a remaster in English, I was like, yeah, I'm buying this. And I bought it, and I've not played it because I want to do it on stream. And I want my reaction to be completely fresh. Because that game looks wild. It's one of those things that, like, it's originally an original Xbox game exclusive to Japan. And it's like, that itself is odd. Yeah, it's a game I've been wanting to play for literally at least 15 years. And now that I can, it's like I should do it on stream. Yeah, Blaine's there suggesting like games for Halloween, and it's like, these are all good ideas, and I assure you I've thought of most of them previously. And with a lot of the others, it's like, I don't want to have to deal with mouse and keyboard at the minute. Ah, you fucking cowards. These crows don't scare me. My name isn't Forrest. Anyway, let's go back. Cowards. Yeah, I think Vampire the Masquerade Bloodlines is one of the few games I've considered doing despite. Oh, fuck you. Despite it having to be mouse and keyboard. Often portrayed as evil, blood-sucking monsters, the Chupacabra's only real obsessions are magical relic. When in the presence of such artifacts, they'll do anything to get them. However, the Chupacabras are not inherently evil creatures, and most of the time, after a short game of hide and seek, they will return anything they've stolen. I think the Chupacabra sequences, because there's more than one, this happens several times throughout the game. I think they were probably everybody's most hated parts of this game. Which is why in the sequel, when you find the Chupacabra, he's locked up. I think it's supposed to be a deliberate take that. He's up there. Fight with the gun.
Hello! Hello!
If you hate the goat, you'd think you'd get along well with the Chupacabra. To be fair, Ninja, you've not streamed this. I remember a lot about, like, most of the video games I've streamed. Sometimes it's frustrating. Yes, because they eat goats, yes. Yeah, I remember a lot about a lot of the video games I've streamed. Can't remember like a lot of details about my day-to-day life, but I can remember basically everything about fucking video games. I think part of the reason why I think this is where the game really starts getting good. Like, I'd say it starts here. Where the game really starts getting good. Rather than specifically when you get to the Vampire Lord area. Is because of the architecture. The architecture becomes much more interesting to look at. Now I am an old man. I have the arthritis. It's like visually, there's one shot I remember from this game. There's one shot I remember from this game in particular when we're in the castle that always stuck with me. That I always thought was like one of the best looking shots in the series. and that comes in the vampire castle specifically. The Crow Witch.
It is a sad tale of the witch who guards this fortress. A sad tale of love lost. A tale not so dissimilar to our brave hero. Yet pity is not something he can feel anymore. He is blind to it. The pity of these so-called evil creatures will be laid aside for revenge. And so goodbye, once beautiful Malphas. You will trouble mankind no more, and when you are gone into the void, know that love destroyed you in the end.
That doesn't sound like something a good guy would say. Yeah, Panda. But yeah, I think like the architecture, like from here until like the end of the vampire sequence is really good. Because like in the first section it's swamp and it's ruins and it's really boring and repetitive, and the last section it's swamp and then it's wasteland and it's really uninteresting. The trail of poor brother Adolphus ends here. I'm sure that he must be somewhere in the level below, but I cannot get past this door. There must be another way in. Maybe descending the mountain outside will allow me to double back and... Damn! Something is coming. Yeah, I've had a haircut. Too warm to have my thick hair long. Like, there's a lot about this game I think is actually really good. It's true, I did it with a sharp blade. Bit of cream. Thank you, Panda. But yeah, like, I love the musical pieces here. There is genuinely a lot about this game to like. My hair grows in pretty thick, so like having it any kind of length, especially in the summer, is not good. Who's ready for a trailer shot? Bitch. Yeah, bitch. The Swordmaster. I would have called it like a Cloak Knight or something. The spirit of a brave fighter never dies, according to a popular saying, and in some places filled with foul magic energy, the souls of slain warriors don't leave the material plane and remain trapped. Their sole mission to torment living beings. These restless souls usually cover themselves in ragged clothes, maybe as a remnant of their living past. Apart from their fighting skills, they have lost all vestiges of humanity. Just like Clem. Hey, thanks for the subscription, Zeke. 31 months. How do you feel that you get your money's worth? Zeke can't hear us, so we can say horrible things about him. Wish they'd move from down here because I can't see. He said don't shoot. Very deep. Very deep. Those birds didn't need to take the stairs. Tiger. Not today, bucko! That was just rude. Okay, I got it the first time. You don't need to zoom in every time they do it. Yeah, I'm loving this music piece. There's just like a wonderful melancholy to it. It makes me think of Conan the Barbarian, when Conan enters the tomb of the Atlantean king. Oh, that's a good movie. That's a movie with a damn good soundtrack. Okay, so I can't go up there. Cool. Where can I go? That looks like progress. But I don't think I'm at full health enough. Sure I do. This is the face of progress. I will bring America into a new golden age. Thank you, Clem. This must be where I fight Saruman. Saruman the White. Oh, that wasn't so bad. Witch Malthus. It is said that this monster was once a beautiful woman, a witch who inhabited the mountains that surround the fortress. She was treated with respect and admiration, with many people travelling from distant regions for her sage advice. During this time, she fell in love with a prince who lived in the keep. Besotted with him, she used her powers to concoct potions of love and enchantment so that she could have him for herself. Alas, another witch entrapped him and he met a most gruesome end. Mad with grief, Malthus threw herself from the top of the tower, landed on the rocks below. Incredibly, she survived the fall, though her body was horribly broken. The crows fed on her, and she on them, and over many centuries her powers grew until she transformed into the twisted, bird-like creature she is now, intent on feeding on corpses for her food. Her cries of maddened rage fill the long, dark hallways below the fortress and echo around the tower that was once a place of love and hope. Don't worry, Clem. I'll fix it for you. With violence. The legend of Malthus is known to me, and yet I never thought I would contemplate doing battle to face her alone. I have a plan on how to defeat her. It is said that she launches their eggs at you and they immediately hatch into hideous children. I surmise that if one could somehow throw the eggs back at her, one could stop the brood hatching and give her a taste of her own medicine. But how to do it exactly? Die. Witch Child. These half-human, half-bird-like creatures are the progeny of the Crow Witch Malthus. The witch children are able to breathe fire and extremely volatile, oftentimes dying in blazing explosion. However, like most magically summoned entities, their existence is short-lived and they tend to die naturally a few days after their birth. So what they're saying is, abortion is the kind option. That's right, baby, we're bringing the abortion joke back. Fucking hurt you. I should absolutely be able to throw all of those eggs back at her. Snap. Oh, I need to get close to her. Die on your way like a crow. With you in just a second, Sonny Jim. Right now, I'm gonna beat your mother up. Let's go! I'm like a bird, I fly into the ground. I don't know where the sky is. I just know where the ground is. And baby, I'm gonna fly straight to it. On. It's a nice mask. Want it. Well, she was never going to get ahead in life that way. Thank you, Magic Horse. We made it. Alright, let's see if we can try and fix this. Kittredge, you haven't seen me very upset. What does this one do? Oh, okay. Yeah, it's frustrating when, like, you just try to stream and you just cannot maintain a stable connection. But it doesn't start early enough for you to be like, well, I guess we're not streaming tonight. It starts when you're like an hour in. It's a pain in the fucking ass. And all we can do now is keep going and hope it'll fix itself.
So it seems Pan has saved Gabriel once more. His arrival most fortuitous. Gabriel now enters the outskirts of the vampire's territory. A cold winter has gripped this land for centuries, driving out the inhabitants to warmer climes. Those stubborn enough to stay have contended with the cold death that visits them each and every night, taking their loved ones away forever. The vampires thrive in the cold and terrorize the living who crave warmth and companionship. This night a warrior will come, a knight in shining armor with death at his side. He comes for you, creatures of the night.
Creatures of the night? Thank you, Pan. Yep. Typical, isn't it? Berries? Yeah. I could have gotten through that wall earlier. I just forgot how. Alright, I think you went right. Can't go through there till I get my stuff back. Right, bomb the door maybe? Oh, probably the ball. Gotcha. Well, it's time for you to die.
So close, yet so far.
Ugh. Okay, we're back where we were a minute ago. Not there.
Cold, cold, cold.
How you doing, Flynn? Okay, it looks like the stream's stabilizing a little bit. There have been numerous sightings of chupacabras in this region. This creature is not known to be deadly or malicious, merely a nuisance. I must get word back to my Brotherhood comrades to gather as much fairy blossom as they can. He's fascinated that chupacrab is the blossom, good tactic to use while stolen.
Scalding hot.
Alien vs Predator 2, huh? It's been a popular word these days.
Found me.
AVP 2 is another one of those games of like, if Night Dive remaster it, yeah, probably. I mean, send it to do Fair for Halloween.
Just how sad you are. you see me? Sultan said you are.
Why didn't that work the last 2 times? Fucking bullshit. We've been stocking up on dark crystals. They're very useful in combat. I stumbled upon an old man who seemed to be bewildered and senile, decayed intelligence in his eyes. Claimed he was a friend and asked if he'd found any relics he'd left us. I told him I didn't understand. He said he would pray for me and suddenly scurried off into the night. What do you mean by relics? Well, I've got Condemned and Fair on Xbox, so probably both of them at some point. Condemned 2 isn't backwards compatible, unfortunately, so I do have it. It's on PS3. I would have to bust out the PS3 for it. And, like, the more I can avoid doing that, the happier I'll be. I think with Fair, I'm only really interested in doing the first game. If I do the second game, I'm kind of obligated to do the third game as well. Possibly do the Fear expansions though. Maybe. Thursday's mandate's not worth it. Yeah, you'd know better than I would, Flame. They should both be on Xbox. I'm not sure if I have both of them. It's an awkward thing with Fear that you can't buy it digitally on Xbox now. You gotta have the disc. So I don't know how purchasable the DLCs will be. Yeah, Fear 2 is more Fear 1 if it was built for consoles. I should look into actually properly doing mouse and keyboard setup. We are really close to Weigel here, and just beyond is the vampire castle. Almost seek shelter at night from possible attack. The weather is very cold, and sending messages to the Brotherhood is proving difficult. Last night, I received the communication that went to meet in Weigel village for an assault on the vampire stronghold. God help me, but I'm afraid of becoming one of those blood-sucking creatures. So, Weigel village is a reference. That's the name of the village in Order of Ecclesia. Look at that. You might look at that and think that's a bit much. I look at that and think, yeah, that's a castle I want to traverse. The fun thing about the Fear 2 Reborn expansion, it's the only Fear game I don't own on PC, and I can't buy it separately. If I want to own it, I have to buy the Fear Complete pack, but I own all of the other things. I just don't own Rebirth.
This village is one of the last vestiges of human civilization left in this
Well, that's
place
kinda
of
gay.
death and cold. It lies not far from the vampire's castle, our next objective. I have some matters to attend to here, matters that could spoil our plans. I will deal with them and try to rendezvous with Gabriel later. He has not slept in days, not since the girl. The pain is etched on his face still, but in his soul only hatred drives him. We will not speak of it. He must not know I have seen everything, that I have followed him this far.
Yeah, and that bundle is the only way to actually get Fear Reborn, Fear 2 Reborn. But I own everything else. I can't just buy Fear 2 Reborn on its own. And for some reason, like every other bundle on Steam, there's no discount if you own parts of the bundle. Fucking stupid.
Thank God that you are still among the living, my friend.
The Lycan Lord has been defeated. I have his power. What happened here?
I congratulate you on your victory. But these fellows were not so fortunate. Word has spread of our quest. The vampire clan have slaughtered this entire village. And now, they're expecting us.
Zobek, why does your face look cel-shaded?
That abbey. I am told the abbot possesses an ancient relic that harnesses the power of the sun. It is said to be capable of burning vampires and reducing them to ashes. That relic protects the abbey and all who take refuge there. But the abbot has barricaded himself inside and filled the building with deadly traps to deter visitors.
It is odd, right?
After years of isolation, some say he has been driven quite mad. He resides up there, in the tallest of the towers. If we could persuade him to give the relic to us, it would give us a tremendous advantage over the vampires. But it won't be easy.
Mad or not, damn him for not protecting his people.
Ghouls!
Ghouls? Yeah, I'm not doing it till like at least October. Despite most people believing otherwise, ghouls are not undead creatures. In fact, their ancestors were human, but a diet of corpses and rotten flesh transformed them into horrible monsters that dwell in burial grounds and cemeteries. Ghouls usually live underground, but sometimes venture outside in small groups to scavenge for carrion. The vomit of the ghoul is highly poisonous but can be dispelled with light magic. It will feel better on PC than PS3. Fear is a really good game, and if you've got any interest in first-person shooters, it's worth your time.
destroy you all. They will return if we don't block the hole.
How do I block it then? Oh, there we go.
I need your help with the statue, Zobek.
I'm coming.
Pretty sure that statue hit me. Boom. Yeah, feels good, Silent Ninja. If you don't own it and it is currently 90% off in the Steam sale, I recommend picking it up. You've absolutely paid more for worse. We all have.
Cursed creatures!
I would if the camera would stop moving.
Zobek, help me knock down the statue.
As you wish. Get out of my sight! They will return if we don't block the hole. Unholy beasts!
That's not right.
Get away from me, you filth!
Man,
I
can you
will
imagine?
destroy you all.
Can you imagine what it'd be like to actually be able to see what you're doing?
I need your help with the statue, Zobek.
That's a good idea.
Yeah, I'll get to it probably in
Cursed
October.
creatures.
To be fair, Ninja, the first game's really all you need. Oh hey, an upgrade. What's this upgrade? What's this upgrade? What is it? The artisan who made the chain and hooked it for the combat cross, Ronaldo Gandolfi, wanted to give the weapon even more options for hand-to-hand combat. especially against supernatural creatures of the night. And so he designed the stake attachment, which eventually gave the combat cross the nickname of Vampire Killer. I actually did debate playing Dante's Inferno soon, because Klim's recommended that to me. I don't believe so. I have it on Xbox.
We delve deep below the abbey, ready to face the evil confronting us. The abbot, Vincent Dorin, was once a good and kindly man who helped the people of Wygol. But now he has become a devious coward who has holed himself up in the abbey and rigged it with traps of cunning. The people, unprotected, have paid a heavy price for his treachery. Night has fallen outside, and we will be open to vampire attack at any time. We must be on our guard. We must work together if we are to succeed in acquiring the relic that the abbot guards. This will help us greatly in defeating the vampiric horde later.
One thing I do really like with this game is the presentation of the vampires as a genuinely dangerous threat. I think it's really well presented, and I like the idea of, like, oh yeah, we're a hardened warrior on a holy crusade. Possibly the single most skilled man who have ever lived. But if we make a mistake, the vampires will tear us apart. Like, that's cool. I really like that as an idea.
Vampire! Careful, Gabriel. This is not going to be so easy. Get out of my sight!
Okay, let me actually fucking see. A vampire can be born from many different creatures. The ceremony itself involves the exchange of blood between the host and the soon-to-be vampire. However, vampirism has to be accepted by the recipient, so it remains exclusive to intelligent creatures. The lowest-ranked vampires usually take the form of a creature with a bat-like appearance. Over the centuries, as they become more powerful, vampires appear more human-like and able to transform at will from hideous creatures into human form. One can usually ascertain the power of a vampire by its appearance, and any vampires that appear totally human are usually incredibly powerful and extremely dangerous. These particular vampire warriors show the signs of having been recently turned and cannot hide the fact that they are low-level creatures against the will of the vampire lord. So I think that's a really cool, but somewhat subtle indicator of, like, oh, if you see a vampire who looks human, that's terrifying, because they are still monsters, but the fact that they look human is an indicator of their power. Like, this game's got some really neat ideas. I feel like most of the best ideas are in the vampire section.
I can see a device which may help us open the door. I'll send this straight back to hell.
Yeah, pretty much, Ninja.
I need your help with the crowbar, so bad.
That's a good idea. Go through to the other side, quickly! Back, you demons! Bloody dead meat. There must be some way of knocking the grill down.
Let's go! God damn it, Zordak.
Holy beast. Don't you dare touch me.
Alright, let's go.
That bastard Abbott has protected himself well. We need 2 keys to get out of here.
Okay, so... I think I figured it out. Alright. That's always clockworks. What should we play for, Flame?
There is one of the keys we need.
Yeah, possibly. Don't kid yourself though, that game was not a hit. That game appealed to nobody except SMT fans. And, like, people who are into first-person dungeon crawlers. And also me. Because I was an SMT fan when it came out. So, yeah.
Zobek, help me with the crowbar.
Yeah,
As you
but a lot
wish.
of things are a hit in Flame's eyes.
Go! Go! Cross over now!
I'll tell you what I've been thinking about recently. And like this whole area's had me thinking of it a little more. Van Helsing. You know that movie that Teak hates? Because Teak doesn't like fun? We'll get this key and we'll run the ad. Yep, can't trust him. I need the crowbar. But yeah, the Van Helsing movie that Teak hates because he doesn't like good movies. The video game tie-in, which is like Devil May Cry crossed with Castlevania. Like people say that Lament of Innocence is like Castlevania trying to do Devil May Cry. And I don't think it is. I think Van Helsing is a lot closer to that idea. I never finished it either. But I think that could be a fun game to do at some point. No, not like Ghost Rider. But yeah, we're gonna run this ad, and then when we come back, we will do more of the vampire stuff. So don't go anywhere. And we're back. Oh, this looks like a trap.
Quickly, support the next slab or we will die here!
Hurry! Prop up the next slab!
Support the next slab before we are locked in here!
Zobek! Quickly!
Go faster,
Forward
Zobek.
and hold the next slab!
Quickly, or we die! There is one of the keys we need.
I think the Dune movie that is most worth watching, that I don't think a lot of people have seen, is Jodorowsky's Dune. It's a documentary about the first attempt to get Dune made into a film adaptation. And it's honestly absolutely fascinating. The casting choices, the ideas for the set design, the concept arts and such. It's a trip, and the fact that the only thing that stopped it getting made was the lack of money, the lack of production money, is just unbelievable. Because there was so much there and everybody was down for it, and they just couldn't get somebody to, like, back it financially. And, like, I'm doing a really poor job of explaining it, but it's worth your time. As far as, like, documentaries about movies that never got made. This feels like Snow Peak from Twilight Princess. And also a little bit of the Seraphim Fortress from the start of Legacy of Kain Defiance.
There is a strange device here.
Who shot this man in the head? I heard that Gandolfi went in search of the vampire that took his beloved daughter. This is what motivated and created the combat cross and upgraded its lyrics in the first place. I passed the mausoleum area that could have housed one of the cross upgrades, but the weapon itself is held in a secret underground vault of the Brotherhood. But the relic has no purpose or value for me. I wonder if I'll ever see it used in combat. I wonder if the prophecy will ever come to pass, or if we'll ever discover what happened to Gandolfi. Cursed Abbot, a man of God using hellish magic. Sometimes the portal keeps sending you back to Capra. Okay, so we have a puzzle. We have a puzzle, people. What wall? What wall? Unfortunately, I don't know any NSYNC because I'm a heterosexual male. Yeah, I said it. Are these vampires coming out of the ground? Alright, this better be good. Clem tricking me into watching Aqua Teen all the frogs.
Get away from me, you filth!
You know what Adult Swim show I miss?
You're already dead weight.
Harvey Birdman, Attorney at Law. And, of course, you know, the Venture Brothers.
I need you to hold the device steady, Zobek.
I'm coming. Go through to the other side, quickly!
Where is the teleport? Ah. Oh.
You are dead.
Yeah, Harvey Birdman's really good. Like, if I thought there was any value in doing a visual novel again, I would have genuinely considered doing the Harvey Birdman game. But like, if you've ever enjoyed watching Harvey Birdman Attorney at Law, and you haven't played the Harvey Birdman game, I recommend checking it out because it's basically Phoenix Wright, just with Harvey Birdman characters and writing, and it's really good.
Zobek, hold the device steady.
As you wish. Hurry! I can't hold on for much longer!
I mean, you probably can, Zobek. Old Zobo, as we called him.
The men you once were are long gone.
I need to see about picking up Harvey Birdman again. It's been so long since I watched it.
I will destroy you all!
You see how easy it is, Zobek? When you have a real weapon like a whip, rather than a coward's weapon like a sword.
I need you to hold the device steady, Zobek.
I'm coming. Go through to the other side, quickly!
I'm going. It must be out of my mind. How else would I have accepted a mission like this? Infiltrating the Abbey alone to recover some mysterious relic? Insane. This place is full of fiendish traps and indescribable creatures intent on sucking the very life from me. And that's why you died in this situation, Clint. Meanwhile, I, a professional whip user, will survive. But don't worry, Clem, I will protect you with my whip. More games need to let you use whips as a weapon. Bye bye bye. Bye 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 bye. Anyway, let's finish this. Look, I don't need it to be practical. I just need it to be cool.
Steady.
That's a good idea. Hurry! I can't hold on for much longer! Well done.
I don't know what you're talking about, Clint. How bad is it, Clint? I feel like I'm not actually going to use any of these abilities in combat. So here's a fun one for you, Ninja. There was such a thing in Star Wars in the old expanded universe as the Light Whip, which is a lightsaber whip.
The traps laid by the abbot have proved tricky, and yet we have managed to break into the inner cloisters, and the library is close at hand, if memory serves. My friend looks weary and troubled, the weight of the world on his shoulders. I can see he is holding a terrible secret deep within. He is trying to bury it, and in its place the anger is taking over. We must not delay. We must find Dorin and take what we need before we are dragged down with the guilt. The need of the many outweighs those of the few now. We can shed no tears for those lost. We must be strong, and we must destroy the Lords of Shadow at any cost.
Yeah, practically, like in actual combat, like combat to the death, a whip is not great. As a backup weapon, maybe, but given that generally the most you'll be able to do with a whip is if you get somebody in like the face is the most damage. Meanwhile, with a sword, you can do significant damage, like debilitating damage with a sword, basically anywhere on the body. Like a whip can tear the skin, but you can't impale somebody with a whip. The best you're going to get with a whip is, like, say if you manage to get somebody in the balls, or if you get somebody in the throat or the eyes. The standard weak points that you would go for in a fist fight. Meanwhile, with a sword, you can cut a limb off. Like, I love the concept of a whip, but it's the same thing as, like, the concept of using a scythe as a serious weapon. It's cool, it's incredibly impractical.
I'm sure there must be a way of entering the library from here.
I think we're in the library. Because if we're not, then how many books does the library have? That was so obvious that was going to happen. These empty suits of armor have been given temporary life due to possession by a poltergeist. They serve the vampire Dark Lord by patrolling and protecting the castle's halls and corridors. The spirit of this poltergeist can move from armor to armor if it so wishes, though it can take many days for the spirit to recover when doing so. Once established within a suit of armor, the poltergeist can travel between dimensions at will, causing a huge electrical outage that signals an opening between our world and the spirit world. You can tell when an armor is possessed because a strange, unearthly reddish glow emanates from within the suit, indicating that its ghostly inhabitant is awake. That was easy.
Here it is. I found it.
Found what?
Get out of here. I'll keep the trap door open.
Okay. See, I would have just thought this is like the second floor of the library. Yeah, the abbot was very clever, creating a puzzle based on sunlight to protect himself from vampires. The villagers said the doors react only to a sunbeam, but I can't figure out how it'd be done. Alright. No, because we don't get like an immediate game over if we touch the sunbeam. I was solving mirror puzzles like this before this game was a twinkle in his daddy's eye. Yeah, that feels reasonable. Oh. Man, I'm getting so many I'm getting so many gems right now. Doing super well. Alright, there wasn't anything else down here. Fuck off. I never really appreciate when a game wants me to solve puzzles and fight monsters at the same time. I just think that's rude. Like, we can have our fighting sections, and we can have our puzzle sections. We do not mix them. The idea that this puzzle would be designed around a hole in the wall is kind of odd. Because that hole probably wasn't intended by the architect. Anything good in here? It was the fail-safe design. I'll take this, thank you. Grazie. Little bastards. Is there anything of value down here? Yes. All right. Make a big deal out of it. It's like, oh, puzzle solved, and because you didn't use the hint, you get the experience points for it. But when it says, like, unlock solution, you still have to do the puzzle. And you just don't get the experience points for it. But none of the puzzles are particularly hard. So it's like, what's even the point of that? If it meant you could just skip the puzzles entirely, I think that'd be reasonable. We've got to do the puzzle.
The tower at the Abbey of Wygol was once a place where men of God sought knowledge and protected the people with Christ's love. Now it is the refuge of a man driven insane by fear. Dorin has abandoned his people to death or worse. A powerful relic keeps the vampires at bay, and we must take it if we stand any chance against the Dark Lord's minions. I know of a secret way that will take me to the top of the tower by a different path. Gabriel will have to find his own way for now.
He's always got all these secret paths and shit that means he avoids all the stuff we have to deal with. And it's like, you know what, Zobek? You can't have a dick. You can't have a dick for that. Yeah, it's like, Spider-Man. PS4 Spider-Man lets you skip the puzzles. But I don't think you get experience for them for doing the puzzles anyway. It's just the fun of doing a puzzle. You know, like the old days of playing a puzzle game. Just the fun of it. You've infiltrated the Abbey, but at a heavy price. 2 of my brothers lie slain because of Doran's evil traps. Damn the selfish coward. The relic he possesses could save so many. He looks it away for his own protection, and he claims to be a man of God. I find it hard to forgive such behaviour. So many lives lost because of him. Damn his soul. Sister Laverne, Brother Bernard, I will avenge you. H. So, Vincent Doran, the reference there is the priest who acts as the shop in Portrait of Ruin. Yeah, I enjoyed the puzzles well enough. I only did the puzzles once. Because on replays I just skipped the puzzles. But I did all the puzzles my first time through. Because they were fun. I just didn't want to do them again. Then, like, I appreciate that. Being able to just skip them on the replay. It's a shame they didn't let you skip the Miles and MJ sections on a replay, just to keep things moving. But that's not overly surprising, that's just the way video games are. And like last time I streamed it, when I streamed the PC version with mods, and we had the mod to skip the MJ and Miles stuff, and like it just skipped so much of the game. It was crazy. There's like so much Spider-Man stuff as well. If it was tied to an MJ or Miles stealth section, just outright skipped. That was kind of crazy. If one is running low on magic, it's important to become focused again, as this is what makes the enemy drop neutral elemental orbs. Simply slashing away doesn't work. One must be patient, strike the enemy and dodge, strike and then dodge, slow and deliberate. Once focused, absorb the orbs into your magic container. This is the way to defeat the creatures of the night. I'll tell you one thing I do really appreciate about PS4 Spider-Man though, is the ability to turn quick time events off, or change mash quick time events to on. Because we're at the point in my life now where I just don't want to have to mash the button like that. Like, I'll make the exception for something like Devil May Cry's Million Stab, but that's about it. Don't want to do it just like it's different. It's like the Million Stab is a move that I can choose not to do. The mashing for a quick time event is the developers saying, I need to mash this button to continue the game, and it adds nothing to the game to do that. It reminds me of the Dagobah level in Star Wars Rogue Squadron 3 Rebel Strike, where right at the end of the level, you have to mash the button to use the Force to raise Luke's X-Wing out of the swamp. And if you fail it, that's a game over, and you have to do the level again. It's either a game over or it's a life lost, and it's bullshit. And I struggled with that when I was younger because it is one of the hardest mashing sequences I have ever done. And there was no good reason for it. In a game that doesn't have anything like that anywhere else. So is this the secret, or is the other direction the secret? It was probably the other direction, wasn't it? Here we go again. Zobek, what the fuck?
Where's the abbot?
Inside.
No! No! Get away from me! I know who you are. The devil has sent you. You are demons who serve him. He told me you'd come. He does it to torment me.
Your people perished while you hid behind the one thing that could have saved them. You don't deserve to call yourself a man of God.
Gabriel.
No! It's mine! You can't take it!
There is a need far greater than yours.
You cannot take it! You are not worthy! Don't leave me here, you dogs!
This is another
Curse
instance
you.
like the
Damn you
crystal
to hell.
and the fairies, where it's like you, like especially the crystal, you go through all this trouble to get one, and then you just start getting them everywhere. Like all the trouble to get one full crystal, all the trouble to get the one bottle of holy water.
Please, help us.
What is it? What's happening?
They want you, sir. They want you alone. You must go to the village, or they will kill us all.
You do realize it's a trap.
Horses are
I
true.
know. But still, I must go.
Do what you must. I'll take care of the boy.
No, they want you. They want you to go alone. You realise the trap. Well, yeah, fucking do, Zobek. Like, thanks for that, genius.
The power to defeat the vampires is now in our hands, and that bastard Dorin has no doubt met his maker. If anyone deserved death, it is he. No one will shed a tear for his miserable life. Countless others have met the same fate by his hand. The quest is going well. We have what we need to confront the Dark Lord, and I sense Gabriel's determination to see this through. The vampires must know we have the relic, and I am sure they will move to stop us if they can.
Vincent Dorin. The Abbey at Weigall had always been a place of peace and meditation. The monks that inhabited it were considered great scribes, and their wonderfully crafted manuscripts made the abbey a place of holy pilgrimage. The current abbot, Father Dorin, was an erudite scholar, devoted to the study of the old text retained in the abbey's vast library. Shutting himself away, he studied these ancient texts and prophetic scrolls for years, turning half-blind and quite mad in the process. When the vampires came, he discovered a holy relic hidden deep within the library that kept the evil creatures at bay. In order to preserve the holy books and himself, he banished everyone from the abbey and disassociated himself from his people, leaving them to their fate without the protection of the ancient relic. And now he's dead. Holy water. Let's do this. Do you see what the holy water does? It's an AoE stun. Alright, I'd forgotten about that. No, we can keep using it. It's a sub-weapon now. It's why I was saying, like, all the trouble to get, just get one bottle, and now we'll just start picking them up. Same as the crystal. All the trouble to just get one complete crystal, and then we just start picking them up. Like, if it was a one-time use thing, I absolutely would not have just used it like that. Are there none left who will face me? Lieutenant Brawner. This vampire is a powerful demon turned by the Dark Lord long ago. It is well known that young vampires are bestial in appearance, but as they become stronger, they are able to regain human form. Indeed, many of the oldest vampires are mistaken for highborn aristocracy. However, this creature was never human and thus cannot take that form. Rather, he is a spawn of hell, possessing vampiric powers which make him a formidable foe. So Brawner is the name of the main antagonist of Portrait of Ruin. There's your reference.
Catch this if you can.
Did that go how you planned?
Catch this if you can. You will die here. Fight your fellow brothers. Catch this if you can. I'll drink your blood tonight, warrior.
So that attack, the quick draw attack that he does, it has the indicator that it's an unblockable attack, but the indicator happens after the attack, and that's kind of bullshit. How's it feel, Raziel?
Killing you will be even easier than slaughtering those villagers.
That's a weird thing to say after I just ripped your wings off, because clearly it's already not easier.
Catch this if you can. You will die. Like your fellow brother.
Stab. Ooh. Is it a bad time to ask for a handshake? Oh, bitch. This is another instance where it feels like we've turned over 2 pages at once. Where it's like, we don't know these villagers. It's presented like, oh, we stayed the night with them. This guy's agreed to take us to the castle. Like, maybe we got to know some of them. Nope. Not at all.
Wygol village is safe for now. The vampires have lost one of their commanders, Brawner, and news will travel back to the Dark Lord quickly. This is a blow, but it won't take long for them to regroup. Luckily, one of the villagers has revealed to us a secret path into the demon's castle. This will lead Gabriel into the sewers, and then up into the very jaws of death. The villagers called him God's Savior, and his weapon they called Vampire killer. Ah, Gandolfi, how that would make you smile. As for me, once my business here is done, I shall follow my friend and aid him where I can.
Vampire killer. The aliasing in these cutscenes is intense. Look at that. I feel like now, possibly more than ever, with the ever-increasing threat of increasing video game prices, I feel like now is like possibly the best time to go back and play some of these old games if you've never played them, or replay them if it's been a while. Because there's some absolutely fantastic stuff you're missing out on. We have an ad coming up in about 10 minutes. Maybe it's worth just running it now before we really get started with this level. Yeah, let's do that. Let's run the ad. We'll come back and we'll delve into the Vampire Castle a little.
Move fast, baby, don't be slow. Step aside, reload, time to go. I can't seem to control all this rage that's inside me.
I know you can read my thoughts, boy.
Meow 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 meow.
And we're back.
All of these thoughts running through my head. All my fire veins burning red. Frustration is getting bigger. Bang, bang, bang. Pull my devil trigger.
Welcome back, Ninja. This feels like it's gotten me nowhere. Situation status. As I explicitly stated in my previous report, the condition of Weigle's sewerage system won't allow vampires to launch an all-out attack on the village through its old tunnels. The few entry points were sealed, and the spike trap, despite being a bit corroded, still works perfectly. To be able to cross these obstacles, any potential attacker will need help from this side. Personally, I cannot imagine a Brotherhood member helping the Dark Roads, and I cannot see anyone else here apart from some dusty bones. That's right, the dangerous poison fog. There it is. Knew it was too easy doing that. Oh god, this is the introduction of the actually surprisingly dangerous skeletons. How is that not a reaction gift? Alright, we'll be here when you get back, Ninja. Shredding up their shields. Skeleton warrior. The human inhabitants of the vampire castle suffered a cruel fate once the Dark Lord set up their lair inside. While most of them changed into vampire warriors, a few, mainly those who were the Dark Lord's most loyal retainers when she was human, were made into skeleton warriors by the spell of the puppeteer. Unlike other beings animated by this magic, the vestiges of a once home human soul make the skeleton warriors difficult to command and therefore are rarely found in groups greater than 2 and 3. That's called a parry. Anyway. The fact that they're in Nereids, what were they called? Naiads. The fact there are Naiads over here suggests that there is actually something of value in this direction. Oh, thank God. Shadow Gem. Yeah, but now I have to go back. I think it's armed that well enough. Alright, we're through. Where's my experience for solving it? Oof. Chapter 6. Have we only completed 2 chapters today? Yeah, well. To be fair, this was 7 levels.
Despite his best efforts to try entering the castle unnoticed, the vampires know that Gabriel is coming. Night is fast approaching, and soon he will have to use all his wits and powers to defeat what nightmares inhabit this place of death and decay. His strength grows by the day, and yet his hate intensifies deep within. He eats little and sleeps less. She is there in his thoughts, his beloved Marie. He knows that his journey is far from over. This castle, I fear, will push him into the abyss from which there is no escape.
Alright, we're in. Not this way. Oh, okay. We're not doing that right now. I'll take that. There's one down, relatively painlessly. Today, buckaroo. Yeah, we're in an ice castle. I don't think you can get much cooler than that. Going down. Oh shit. They're getting playful. I didn't destroy the bones. There we go. Let's get out of there. Guess it can't be the warg. Troll, maybe? Oh no, there's a pillar there. I think I broke my leg as soon as I fell down here, so it doesn't seem like I'm gonna get out soon. This is strange indeed. It seems the vampires keep wargs and trolls as captives. I suspect this is to feed on them if human blood supplies run low. I have heard many centuries ago this castle belonged to the Bernhardt family. They must have been driven out when the Dark Lord of the Vampires came. Something approaches. It sounds like the rattle of bones. There we go, you finally got the goddamn hint. Come out, fuckers. Oh, so much for that one. This seems like progress. Not won that yet. I just saw through the castle wall. Is that it? Oh no, there's dude here. It's only a scroll. If either a relic at the Abbey can not only destroy the vampires, but combined with the light magic can also create a temporary shield that surrounds the wielder. How I wish I had such an item, for the vampires are strong and I am weary of battle. I must rest, if only for a few minutes. Good to know. Damn it. Yeah, definitely value to this. Lasts a lot longer than I would have expected to. Not a great camera angle. And this will be the last one. Perfect. I think we're going to call it here for the night. And we'll come back and finish the Vampire Castle when we do. It's good to get back to Castlevania. It's been too long since we've had a Castle-Day-nia. But I want to thank everybody for joining the stream. I always appreciate the support. Big express thank you to everybody in chat. Chat is always the best part of the stream. Ninja, Clem, Teak, Flame, Panda, Teak for the resub. Thank you so much for joining me and keeping me company. Chat is always the best part of the stream. I believe we're back on Thursday with hopefully the conclusion of Indiana Jones and the Emperor's Tomb. But yeah, I don't think there's really anything else. So, there's not really anything else to say except thank you all for watching. Have yourselves a fantastic time of day. And take care. We'll catch you next time, guys. Bye.